I wanted to actually do a video to you, Mr. Painless, on, I guess, I don't know how recent that video was. I was actually going through and just viewing some channels here on YouTube, and I actually came across one video that you did regarding blacks becoming the new gay. I think I actually did a video about it maybe some time ago about that, or maybe it wasn't the video itself wasn't titled that, but I mentioned something about it as part of my video. But one of the main things, again, is that I think that was a very interesting video, and actually I think you were coming from the, I guess, lobbying slash political standpoint from black being the new gay. But I actually wanted to put my 2 cents in, if you don't mind here, because it's an interesting topic, of course. Why wouldn't it be? But I'm going to just go ahead and say what I got to say about this and just leave it alone and leave it at that. There are really many reasons why black is becoming the new gay. And one thing about it is that even though there are many reasons that it could possibly be, I'm going to go ahead and give you my 2 reasons as to the reason why I think, in my opinion, that black is becoming the new gay. For the most part, the number 1 reason is, first of all, you have a lot of households these days that contains one parent that's actually raising, the child. And the thing about it is that you have a lot of these men that are, having babies. Well, not they're having babies, but they're actually, being with women, getting them pregnant, and then they're leaving. And then the woman has to sit there and actually be the sole parent to raising the child. And the sad part about it is that this is actually being done predominantly with young men. And see, one thing about it is that the woman, she's being left there to raise a child. And this child that's being raised, these young boys, don't really have a sense of what it means to be a man. And see, my main thing is that, yes, a woman can actually raise a child, and everything like that, women, that sort of thing. But they can only go so far, because again, a grown woman, no matter how much she may try, she cannot teach a young fella, an up and coming young fella, a young man, a future young man, how to be a man. Now, she can sit up there and maybe give him pointers and stuff on what to do and what men typically do and what their responsibilities are. But as far as hands-on, she can't do that. And see, she can only go so far and tell him, how to conduct himself and how to actually be a contributing member of society, according to, as much as she knows. And see, these young boys are being raised in single-parent households where the mother has to act as both the mother and the father. And really it's giving them a warped sense of who they are, once they become, able to really view the world and see the world from their standpoint and really, start that whole sexual development thing. And pretty much, in my opinion, I believe that is one of the main reasons why you have a lot of, black men becoming effeminate. And like I say, there's not really much that you can do about that. I mean, that's just the way that that's just the way that it's going right now. I mean, and like I said, we have to just be prepared to accept it. Another instance, or another reason I should say, why black is the new gay, in my opinion, again, is because black folks are so easy to be conditioned. I also mentioned that point also in another video that I did in the past, but again, that wasn't the name of the video. It was just it was included in a video that I did. And see, one of the main things that is that if you want to really get to a black person or a black society, put something on television as being cool and watch how fast black folks eat it up. And like I say, it's no different with, again, the lifestyle, the gay lifestyle. I was listening to a video from a fellow one time, and it's an older gentleman. He's actually, I don't know if he's still doing videos or not. I don't know his screen name, his YouTube screen name. But he said one of the most interesting things, and he said that he would expect for a white fella to be gay. Because, again, that's pretty much, in his opinion, that's where it started from, the homosexuality. But he said that it's an insult when you have a black man, a young black man, talking about he's gay, he's homosexual, and not this, that, and the other. And that sort of thing. And see, again, the media, television, sitcoms, the internet, all of these, points of communications are being used by today's youth you know, and I'm going to just keep it within the black community because that's what we're talking about. And see, one thing about it is actually having it to be portrayed as, you know, something that's cool, something that has to be accepted, something that you have to deal with. See, my main stance on that is that I personally don't have to deal with that if I don't want to. That is my choice. You know, again, and see, again, we're leaning towards, you know, tolerance and acceptance and everything like that. And see, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to treat you differently like you're any other different human being because, you know, we all are human beings and are worthy of respect. But I don't have to accept that lifestyle because, number one, I personally, it goes against my religious convictions, number one. And number two, it's unnatural. Again, that's just my personal opinion. But again, you know, I would say that the two popular reasons why I think black is the new gay is because you have a lot of black men that are growing up in single-parent households where the woman is actually having to fill the role of the father as well as her own. And of course, the media where they're actually able to condition and transform black society into whatever they want them to be. And like I say, you know, it's a shame. But again, you know what? Look at, we're living in an age now where there's no morals. I mean, people don't have any, you know, second thoughts about what they do and how they conduct themselves. I mean, and one thing about it that this stuff is, again, it's not being done behind closed doors anymore. You know, being gay, you know, it's so popularized now on TV and the media, you know, is that you can walk, you know, like I said, on regular daytime television. You can turn on the TV and you can see, you know, two men holding hands, two women holding hands. I mean, even though that was an issue back then in the 80s and stuff, you wouldn't even see that stuff, you know, coming, you know, out in the open where it can actually be seen. Now you turn on regular TV, regular public broadcasting, it doesn't even have to be television, cable TV. You see that type of trash going on. I mean, you can't run from it because it's there and you have to deal with it. But I mean, again, you know, it's just a part of society. But see, again, you know, accepting it, I have no choice but to, you know, I'm not going to say, you know what, you are being who you are. You're being what you're supposed to be. Because I am from the old school, if you want to call it that. I believe in a man and a woman. Not a man and a man, not a woman and a woman. A man and a woman. I accept you as a human being, but I don't have to accept the lifestyle that you're living. I mean, that's just my personal belief. You don't have to agree with me. And I'm pretty sure I've had a lot of interesting conversations with people on YouTube who actually, you know, felt that I was actually, you know, bashing them. Where, you know, they thought that I was trying to, you know, how you say, I guess just trying to be downright mean to the homosexual community. But see, me personally, I don't look at it that way. Again, people are entitled to their own opinion. They can come with it with their own conclusions. There's nothing I can do about that. That's something that they do on their own. But see, one thing about it is that I'm going to keep it real. Like I said, that's the only way that I know how to do this thing. But again, going back just to reiterate, my main two reasons why you have a lot of, as black being the new gay, is because you have, again, a larger percent of households being, you know, where the woman is actually being left to raise the child, in this case, the young man. And, you know, and again, she's trying to do the best she can and try to explain to him the role of being an adult. And of course, she can do that the best way she can. But again, you know, she can't teach him how to be a man. A father figure is the one that actually needs to teach them how to, you know, go out there and hold down a job, how to handle his own, you know, that sort of thing. Just the same way, a dad can't teach a woman how to be a respectful young lady. I mean, he can teach her how to avoid, you know, becoming pregnant at a young age and stuff like that, you know, teaching her how to say no and to value her body and, you know, and that sort of thing. But he cannot teach her how to develop from a young girl to a grown woman. That's a mother's job. I mean, again, he can't teach her or be there to tell her or explain to her, you know, about, you know, the process that it goes to from transforming, you know, bodily functions where the female body changes from, you know, the young girl to the woman where, you know, she's having her menstrual cycle once a month and that sort of thing. But I mean, again, that is a very interesting video. And I just want to actually give my 2 cents in there to kind of give you my take on the situation. So again, you know, hope to hear from you soon. If not, that's cool too. Have a good day.